So my goal was to build a trellis for my new climbing plants here. They're Wisteria. They're pretty aggressive climbers. And so I had to make a trellis. So I decided to make a trellis based on the proportions of the Great Pyramid. So I did that. So I diagrammed it inside and did the angles right, got everything right. That was the part that took a little knowledge, some skill. When I came out to build it, it was basically, just like 3 cuts and 3 nails, and I had the cross section of the Great Pyramid. So, that taught me that the brilliance, we talk about the amazing things in the Great Pyramid. It's the designer. The designer's the one who built those great things into the Great Pyramid. The Egyptians were great builders. They were resourceful. They were talented. But the designer is the one that got all the special info in there. And really, there only has to be one designer. It could be Enoch, Thoth. Put all the tremendous revelations that are in there, all the constants, all the relationship with the sun, the moon, the earth, the whole thing, the speed of light, everything that's in there could be designed by a brilliant designer, especially one who's in touch with God, who knows the dimensions of the earth and all these things, the Alpha and the Omega. So then I decided, once I had the frame built and I had planted the Wisteria, this is just a Rose of Sharon, it'll stay small here. This Wisteria is going to get pretty big, so that's why I made a big trellis. So I decided to put the passage systems on there. And so again, to do that, I went and I took somebody else's this is a west view. Usually when you see the passages in the Great Pyramid online, just do a search. They're always the east view. It's always the east view. You have to look really hard to see the passages laid out from a west view, but this is the west side of my house, so I wanted to do the west view. And so I found a scale drawing of the west view. It was hard to find a good one, but I found one, and then I just blew that to the same size as the pyramid I had made here and put it on there. So I trusted someone else's intelligence to get the angles and right stuff. So I plotted out how big they had to be. And then when I came out here, I realized that I know that this Wisteria is going to get big. And so I actually moved the passages up a little bit. So if you do a check on me, this isn't perfectly where these passages are in the Great Pyramid. Doug Inglis, who's an expert on ancient Egyptian boat building in the Old Kingdom, shows that the hulls that they built with acacia wood and other woods were twisted. They didn't follow modular patterns. They didn't make their lumber 2x4, 2x6 dimension lumber like we would. They used the twisted pieces the way they were and ended up working like a jigsaw puzzle. Mark Lehner says the same thing. He studied pyramid building for 4 decades in Giza and says that no 2 blocks are the same. The Egyptians were great craftsmen, and they made things to fit this space they were in. And that's kind of what I follow here, those ideas, and just taking pieces I had around and making this model of the pyramid on my Wisteria trellis. But I'm leading a tour in September to Egypt, and I've got a group coming that lives in the area who's going on the tour with me this Saturday. So I thought I could take them out here and show them this. I'm getting ready to paint it. And that way you can see at a glance, because some of these people who are going with me have never been to Egypt. And so I'll be able to show them here in my Wisteria garden on the west side of my house what the internal passages of the Great Pyramid look like. But again, the main thing I learned here is the brilliance is in the design. That's where the logos, the incredible revelations are. But the Egyptians were resourceful builders, so I made the choice to build this from just material I had out here. I had some wood out here in my garden, some tomato stakes. This is actually a root that I cut out, so the well shaft here, which is kind of crooked, I took something crooked for that. And then, these were tomato stakes right here. The air shafts are tomato stakes. Uh-oh, this one's wrong. Got to fix that one. Okay, glad I looked at that. So anyways, to build it once it's designed is relatively easy. At least you're following a plan, you know what to do. It's your skill now as a builder as whether you can bring it there. I'm not too skilled of a builder, because when I took the Queen's Chamber air shaft, the Southern Queen's Chamber air shaft, through the Grand Gallery, it came out at the wrong angle on the other side, so I'll fix that. But the Great Pyramid, American Institute of Pyramid Research. We're going to Egypt. We're going to keep going to Egypt. Stay with us. trying to do cutting edge things all the time on the Great Pyramid. And for those of you who are searchers, who are seekers, who are eclectic, who are open-minded, keep hanging around, would you? Thanks for watching.